Advantages and disadvantages of measure of dispersions. So measure of dispersion are range, interquartile range, IR is interquartile range, and standard deviations. So today our learning standard is to explain the advantages and disadvantages of various measure of dispersion to describe ungrouped data. Okay, you have learned range, interquartile range, and standard deviation, right? So these all are called measure of dispersion because it can measure the distribution of a set of data. Okay, so one of them is the range. Range is you take the biggest minus the smallest, or you take the maximum minus the lowest. Okay, the range is the most easiest to calculate. However, the range cannot provide a good overview of how data is distributed. Okay. In cases where there is an outlier or extreme value, the interquartile range would be more appropriate measure of dispersion to show the distribution of the data. What is the meaning of outlier or extreme value? It means that the data suddenly become very far from other data. It's not consistent. It can be too big or too small. Okay, I give you an example. Let's say your exams marks. Majority of the student got maybe 50 above 51, 53, 57, 60, 70, something like that. And suddenly there is one student, maybe her marks is 1 mark or 2 marks. That's called outlier because the marks suddenly very far from the other students, very far from the majority of the data. Okay. Standard deviations is usually used to compare two sets of data. In general, a low standard deviation indicates that the data is dispersed close to the mean, while a high standard deviation indicates that the data is dispersed far from the mean. So we prefer a low standard deviation. The lower the standard deviation, the more consistent the data is. Let's see this example. Calculate the range and interquartile range of the set of data 10, 11, 11, 14, 18, 20, 21, 21, 25, and 40. Determine the most appropriate measure of dispersion to be used to measure the distribution of the data set. So if you find range is you take the maximum, which is 40, minus minimum, which is 10. So the range is 30. So if you divide into 4 groups to find the interquartile range, then the interquartile range is 21 minus 11. So interquartile range is most appropriate measure of dispersion because of the existence of the outlier 40. 40 is too far from the other data, so it's called as extreme value. Let's discuss example 11. The table shows the achievement of 2 pupils in 5 physics tests. Okay, Ayman and John sit for 5 tests and their marks. One of the pupils will be selected to represent the school in a physics quiz competition. So determine who is eligible to be selected and justify your answer. So in order to answer question like this, first step is you have to find the mean marks for both of them. You find mean for Ayman and mean for John. Mean means you have to total up all the marks divided by 5. They have 5 tests. Okay, so 40 plus 70 plus 90 plus 85 plus 64 divided by 5. That is mean mark for Ayman, 69.8. Then you find for John, mean mark, you take 80 plus 65 plus 73 plus 58 plus 73 divided by 5. Okay, then you also notice that their mean are the same. John is having 69.8. Ayman also having mean mark 69.8. That means both of them are equally good. Okay, they are equally good. So we want to find out who is the best candidate for the physics quiz. So we have to use a standard deviation, because a standard deviation can show you how consistent is the marks. So how to find the standard deviation? We have to take the marks square, then plus the other marks. Okay, 40 square plus 70 square plus 90 square plus 85 square plus 64 square over 5. Then minus the mean 69.8 square, and then you square root. So standard deviation for Aiman is 17.67. Okay, then you find for John, standard deviation for John, you take the marks 80 square plus 65 square plus 73 square plus 58 square plus 73 square over 5. Then minus 69.8 square, and then you square root. So your standard deviation is 7.574. So we will choose based on the smaller standard deviation. The smaller the better. The smaller the cuter. Okay, John will be selected to participate in the physics quiz competition. So the standard deviation of John's scores is lower because John's achievement is more consistent. So you need to justify your answer by writing the sentence. The sentence, the standard deviation of John's score is lower because John's achievement is more consistent. Please memorize the sentence. Okay, that's so-called justification. Now I explain again the proper step, okay, to answer this question. First, you write Aiman, then find the mean marks. For Aiman, take the marks 40 plus 70 plus 90 plus 85 plus 64 divided by 5. So the mean is 69.8. And then you find the standard deviation. You take 40 square plus 70 square plus 90 square plus 85 square plus 64 square divided by 5 minus 69.8 square, which is the mean just now. Okay, then you square root. Your standard deviation is 17.67, 17.67. Okay, it's a bigger value of standard deviation compared to John. So the mean mark for John, 80 plus 65 plus 73 plus 58 plus 73 divided by 5, you get 69.8. Okay, it's the same with the just now answer, right? Aiman's answer. Okay, standard deviation, you take 80 square plus 65 square plus 73 square plus 58 square plus 73 square over 5 minus 69.8, then you square root. So the standard deviation for John is smaller, just 7.574. Okay, so the smaller value of standard deviation show that the marks is more consistent. So this table also show that how we do comparison between mean for Aiman and John. Mean are the same, they are equally good. Standard deviation for Aiman is 17.67, for John is 7.574. So who will be selected? Of course, we will choose a smaller value of standard deviation, which is John. So John will be selected to participate in the physics quiz competition. The standard deviation of John's score is lower because John's achievement is more consistent. Alright? Hello students, this is your homework. I prepare a few questions for you to do. Okay, please try on your own first. I will discuss later. After you finish your homework, please take photo, send to my Gmail account. Okay, I will double check, and if any mistake, I will send feedback to you. Okay. For question 2, you need to show the proper step that just now I explained to you. Okay, you have to use the concept of the smaller of standard deviation, shows the data is more consistent. Okay, question number 3 also you need to do in the exercise book, and please take photo and send to my Gmail account for these 3 questions for today's homework. Students, that's all for today. So please enjoy doing maths at home. Have a nice day.